Good morning, everybody. Now we have to start continuous charge distribution. Continuous charge distribution. You can understand this with the help of this example कि जब कभी हम पानी को देखते हैं, वाटर को देखते हैं, तो उस हमें मालूम है कि इट इज कंसिस्ट ऑफ मॉलिक्यूल्स ऑफ वाटर, बट वी appears it is continuous. What is the cause of this? All the molecules of water are closely spaced, so closely we can't identify or we can't see them separately. That's why. So we can define the continuous charge distribution, a system of closely spaced electric charge forms a continuous charge distribution. I repeat this definition. A system of closely spaced electric charge forms the continuous charge distribution. It is of three types. First is linear charge distribution, second is surface charge distribution, third is volume charge distribution. So first of all we are taking linear charge distribution. So first of all we have to note the definition. When the electric charge closely spaced and uniformly distributed over a line in bracket straight or curved is known as linear charge distribution. It means, now try to understand that this line, suppose this is the AB line, or on this plus Q charge is uniformly distributed, or this charge is closely spaced. It means it appears a continuous charge. Okay, this line may be straight or curved. So in this derivation we are taking straight line and its length is L, and Q charge plus Q charge is uniformly distributed on this line. Lambda is the linear charge density. What? Linear charge density. So in this case we have to take, this is the small element, means a small part of this line charge. Its length is dl. So this length is very small. It means the charge on this will be also small. So suppose a dq charge is present on this small element, and this is the q naught charge on which we have to find out the force due to, first of all, this dq, or this q naught is at distance r from dq. Okay, so first of all we have to find out the force on q naught due to dq, then due to this complete charge distribution, this complete charged wire, or due to this complete line charge. Okay, so for this, first of all we have to find out the value of dq. dq means charge on this small element. So the charge on this small element dl, dq will be equal to lambda into dl. Since the formula of lambda equals to q upon l, here q charge is spread on this complete L length. Now we have to find out the force on q naught dq. So since you are taking this charge, dq is a small charge, so this force we will take a small force. So df will be equal to k into dq into q naught upon r square. We can put the value of dq from equation first. So df will be equals to k q naught lambda dl upon r square, and this will be equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q naught into lambda dl upon r square. Now we have to find out the force on q naught due to complete line charge or complete linear charge distribution. So this force F will be equal to integration of this force. F will be equal to integration of 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q naught into lambda dl upon r square. And this can be this quantity and this 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught and q naught are constant for this. So we can take outside. So F will be equals to q naught upon 4 pi epsilon naught integration of lambda dl upon r square. This can also be written as the value of lambda dl equals to dq. So this can also be written as q naught upon 4 pi epsilon naught dq upon r square. The vector form of this, sometimes it can be asked. So vector form of this, vector F will be equals to q naught upon 4 pi epsilon naught lambda dl r cap. R cap is the unit vector along r upon r square, or this can also be written as q naught upon 4 pi epsilon naught integration of dq r cap upon r square. Okay, so this is the derivation for the total force on the charge q naught due to complete linear charge distribution. So in this derivation you have seen that here plus q charge is uniformly distributed on the line of length L or on the wire of length L. It means, and its linear charge density was lambda. So we have to define, we can define the linear charge density. Note down the definition of linear charge density. The amount of charge is spread over the per unit length of wire is known as linear charge density of that wire. So lambda will be equal to, it is noted by lambda, so lambda will be equal to q upon L, and its unit becomes coulomb per meter as a unit. This is the linear charge density. After the linear charge distribution, its second part is surface charge distribution. So first of all, we have to note the definition of surface charge distribution. When the electric charge closely spaced and uniformly distributed over a sheet is known as surface charge distribution. It means in linear charge distribution the body will be one dimensional, and surface charge distribution it will be two dimensional, and in volume charge distribution it will be three dimensional. In that case you will take volume. So after this we have to drag the formula for this. So in this case we are taking a sheet of surface area S, plus q charge is uniformly distributed on the surface of the sheet. Sigma is the surface charge density of this sheet. ds is the small part of this sheet. We are taking a small element of this sheet, and the charge on this small element is suppose dq. So the value of dq will be equal to sigma into ds. By the formula, sigma equals to q upon S. So this will be the value of dq. Now this is the charge q naught where we have to find out the force due to this small element dq. R is the distance of this charge q naught. This is the R. So the force on q naught due to dq, dF will be equals to k q naught into dq upon r square. You know this thing. And dF equals to k q naught sigma ds upon r square. You put the value of dq from this equation, and this will be equals to, you have to put the value of k, 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q into sigma ds upon r square. So this is the small amount of force applied by the small element charge dq on the q naught. After this, we have to find out the total force on q naught due to complete surface charge distribution. So F will be equals to total force. F will be equals to integration of this. So we have to integrate this equation. So this will be equals to integration of q naught into sigma ds upon 4 pi epsilon naught r square. And this can be written as F equals to q naught upon 4 pi epsilon naught integration sigma ds upon r square. And this can also be written as q naught upon 4 pi epsilon naught in place of this dq upon r square. This is the total force on q naught due to complete surface charge distribution. After this, if we want to find out its vector form, then F will be equals to q naught upon 4 pi epsilon naught sigma ds r cap upon r square, where r cap is the unit vector along r, means from dq to q naught. And this can also be written as q naught upon 4 pi epsilon naught dq r cap upon r square. So this is the vector form of this. After this, we have to study about the surface charge density. What? Surface charge density. Surface charge density. So we can define this surface charge density. You can understand this plus q charge is distributed, uniformly distributed on the surface S. So we can define this, the amount of charge uniformly distributed or spread over per unit surface area. I repeat this definition. The amount of electric charge spread over per unit surface area is known as surface charge density. It is denoted by sigma. So sigma will be equal to, tell me better, q upon s, and its unit will be coulomb per meter square. Now volume charge distribution, third part of this volume charge distribution, you will complete yourself. You will complete by yourself. In that, first of all, you have to define the volume charge distribution. After that, you will take the body three-dimensional, means solid sphere. Its volume will be V, and its small element becomes dV. Then you have to find out this complete. And volume charge density noted by rho. So you have to keep in mind, and you have to derive this formula. Now we start the electrostatic field. As you had studied in 11th class, at that time I told you that you have to learn the definitions of gravitational field, intensity of gravitational field, gravitational potential energy. Because these definitions are same, is slightly change in that. So first of all, we have to study about the electrostatic field. So note down the definition. The space or region around the charge in which the electrostatic force is experienced by the other charge is known as electrostatic field. You can understand this. Suppose this is the charge which is producing field around it. Means you will see if this charge, we are increasing the distance from this, charge, and you will see on increasing the distance from this charge, the force going to decrease. Electrostatic force going to decrease. Suppose this up to this point, it can apply the force on the other charges. It can apply the measurable. कैसा? Measurable. इसके बाद वो measurable नहीं होता, बहुत small हो जाता है. तो this distance suppose r. This r will be same in this direction. This r will be same in this direction. This r will be same in this direction. R will be same in this direction inside also. It means you can construct a sphere around it. This sphere is of radius r, in which the electrostatic force can be experienced by the other charge due to this charge. So this charge is known as source charge, or that charge is known as test charge. If you are taking positive unit charge, so that charge is known as test charge. So this is the electrostatic field. Okay. After this, intensity of electrostatic field. Intensity of electrostatic field. Intensity of electrostatic field. You can write this definition. The electrostatic force experienced by a positive unit charge at any point in the field of the given charge is known as intensity of electric field at that point due to given charge. It is noted by capital E. So in this case you can understand this. If suppose this is the source charge and this is the charge which is experiencing the force F, and this is the distance of this charge. So this force F is experienced by the charge Q naught due to this charge Q. So this charge is source charge. So according to definition, electric field intensity E will be equal to F upon Q naught. Both are the vector quantities. So you can make the vector sign here. What will be seen? Newton per coulomb. But there is a problem here. Problem is, suppose you are taking here test charge. This is test charge, means positive unit charge. But we know that this test charge has some electric field. It's electric field. So this electric field will be just opposite of this electric field. It means at this time this E will not be correct definition of this or correct measurement of this. If you want to get the correct measurement at this point, so this charge Q naught must be so small that it will produce the negligible electric field. So at that time it means that we have to make this Q naught is very small. For this there is a method to take limit Q naught tends to 0. So for the accurate value of electric field intensity at this point, this is O and this is A. So at point A, so we have to take Q naught is about equals to 0. So for this the representation of electric field intensity will be limit Q naught tends to 0, F upon Q naught. Do you know the meaning of this? Its meaning is this, that Q naught is very small, means near about 0 and moving towards 0, but it will never get 0. It will never get the 0. So this is the electric field intensity. Okay.